Let's play trolley problems. So, chat, do you guys know how trolley problems work? It's like a ethics game. All right, we're doing trolley problems. Okay.
The following game contains adult themes. It does not contain explicit language, sexual content, horror, or show violence. Choices matter, so please take your time. Player discretion is still advised.
Wow.
Please sign your... That's rude.
Okay. Okay.
Actions speak louder than words.
True.
Welcome to Trolley Problem Inc., founded to help people travel safely across the nation. All our employees must show 3 core values: responsibility, There's a runaway trolley barreling down the railway tracks. On the tracks are 5 people unable to move. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will switch to a different set of tracks. However, you notice there is a person on the other track. What do
I thought I would pull the lever.
Oh, you're going to kill someone. This isn't how I thought I was going to start my day.
There's a claim in like ethics though that you're actively choosing to kill that person versus you could just not intervene, right? And you could let nature take its course.
Usually we don't expect candidates to kill someone on their first day, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one.
You agree with 71% of players?
Acting next time.
Okay. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This test will focus on the first principle, responsibility. Here's Polly. She's 5 years
5 years old.
While she loves to play in the sand with her dolls, she dreams of looking after the world. Polly's destiny is to grow up to be a great doctor. More of us should take a leaf out of her book. A trolley is heading towards another 5 people. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will derail and descend down a hill heading for the park's sandpit. You notice that Polly is in the sandpit, sculpting her dream hospital. What do you do?
Okay, what if Polly becomes a Nazi though? Right? I mean...
Are you not saving them just because they aren't as cute as Polly?
We don't know information about the other 5 people. They could be 5 doctors too. We pull the lever. We honestly, fuck them kids, dude. Achievement unlocked. Killed a child. Love it. Hey.
That is an odd take.
I would pull the lever even if there weren't 5 people. I'm kidding.
Definition: to be the primary cause of something and so able to be blamed or credited for it. Are you to blame for the death of a young girl?
No, dude, her dumbass fucking playing in the sandpit there. It's really 55% of people change their answer when it's a kid, or like that's from 70 to 50. That's a crazy change as soon as you say that it's
The key to this test is integrity. This is Tyrone.
This is the fat guy. People love killing fat guys by the way.
Watching crime shows. Tyrone is a very large man. You don't really know anything else about him.
Everyone kills fat people in these, by the way. That's my theory.
We are upping the ante. You are on a bridge with Tyrone, watching a trolley speeding towards 5 people again. You can only stop it by deliberately pushing Tyrone off the bridge, blocking its path. Do you push Tyrone off the bridge? Or let the train hit 5 people?
No. This one's different though.
121 million people are starving in the world.
No. But like, okay, realistically, what would I do? Realistically, this one is different. Like, you wouldn't push someone off a bridge. Also, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this one, the action is different.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I've just seen an ambulance arrive. I believe Tyrone has just...
Only 49? No. By the way, no. I disagree. I disagree with this. I 100% disagree. Even if people knew 100% that pushing a guy in front of it would stop the train, even if they knew in their mind they would not do that. The people are pussies. There's no way they would do that. There's no way 51% of people would actively push someone. There's no way.
A cat has 9 lives.
Oh, fuck. That's a cat, though.
Now for the final core value, respect. It seems we've run out of resources to continue your testing. I'm going to need you to go and grab some mannequins. You will need to take the next trolley, so don't get distracted by that dog.
I feel
trolley
like
leaves in 1 minute.
I feel like this is one of those problems where people love to, like, it's the opposite, right? When given something about Tyrone, like this fat guy, they're like, yeah, I'll fucking push him in front. In reality, they would not. Vice versa is this effect where people like on Twitch chat will be like, oh my God, :D. No, not the dog, right? Chat will spam :D. Oh my God, a dog. In real life, though, we'd fucking sacrifice a dog for a person. That's just how we're wired.
There is a dying dog down on the tracks. No trolleys will use that line today, so the dog will not be hit. You're in a rush. Do you kill the dog, putting it out of its misery, or leave it to die, cold and alone? Let nature take its course. Don't listen to the yelps.
Oh, well, this is just sort of different. I thought it was like I was sacrificing a dog. I'm going to leave it to die. I'm not going to fucking kill it.
I couldn't leave it there to die alone.
Nah, when it's like non-humans, I just like let nature take its course. Someone said kill it, end its misery. You're going to do it. You're going to fucking kill the dog. I'd love to see you try.
When you respect something, you're meant to care about its feelings and wishes. Instead, you just left it there to die.
If it's your own dog and you're like going to put it out, like, and it's your own dog and you want to put it out of its misery, sure. But you guys are not going to go kill a fucking dog.
If you play with fire, you'll get burned.
Okay.
Oh, great. I've just heard those kids are back. They keep sneaking down onto the tracks. With all the training from this week, you should be able...
Sorry. Had to pull up something.
And integrity.
Okay, hold on. You should be able to decide a straightforward outcome for these Okay, let's see.
5 trespassers have snuck down onto the trolley line even though signs warn them of the dangers. The trolley is currently heading for a co-worker. Do you let your co-worker die or sacrifice the delinquents? If the trespassers weren't there, you would change the path, right? I guess you value criminals over co-workers.
No, I would let the worker die. Yeah. Oh, it was already let worker die. Yeah. Because I'm looking at this situation as in like, I am a worker of...
Co-worker. All right, then I guess your results for the first week are in. I'll run these up the flagpole and see what the suits upstairs think.
58% of people would pull the lever to kill the trespassers. Bro, that is insane. Like, they also like I don't know, dude. That's insane to me. I like, again, I'm like thinking about, maybe I'm more utilitarian, but I'm like, no, I don't fucking kill them. Like, they're not like signing up for death with that trespassing. There's even like an argument to be said that like, hey, we're workers on the railway. We assume the risks. Our job is to protect people. Part of our job is to make sure the railway is safe, right? By the way, chat, the trolley problems are really good because, you know, we talked about self-driving cars. All of those self-driving cars have to go through this.
Dear Sir
Like they have
or
to
Madam,
program them this way.
we have been following
Have you
your
a penal
exemplar practice this week at Trolley Problem Inc. and would like to thank you for your hard work, especially when some challenging decisions had to be made. We would like to invite you to take employment at the Trolley Health Corporation, THC. This is a prestigious position and was created to help keep the public safe through all walks of life.
So chat, any like autonomous system has to like be trained on certain principles like this. Like self-driving cars have to be trained, like AI has to be trained on our ethics of what we think is correct.
The best laid plans go astray. It looks like you've impressed someone upstairs with last week's answers. You've been transferred to the Trolley Health Corporation, THC.
Okay.
THC is stoic, focusing more on justice,
Okay.
Today, you'll be in A&E. A young male has come in from a car accident and urgently needs a heart transplant. There's only one in the hospital, and this heart is scheduled to be given to an elderly man waiting upstairs. He will surely die without it. Who should get the heart? In a year or two, we can probably get the heart back off this old boy. Wow, this guy is really old. It'll be an awful waste of a heart if he doesn't even survive.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know what their ethics are. I think their ethics would say, I mean, I'd give it to the young dude. It's like his is also the immediate need.
You made an excellent choice. Well done. The elderly man deserved that heart much more. Oh, wait. Did you save the young guy? Oh.
Yeah, they're both kind of immediate, but like, I mean, again, mine's
win them all.
That one's a tough one. I don't know.
You're late. The hospital is rammed. Every staff member has their hands full, so you're going to have to go out on the ward and help the sick, gross, decaying people. Remember, hey!
Okay.
A patient has begged to be euthanized. Euthanasia is currently illegal. You will have to be the one who gives the lethal dose. You will need to look into their eyes and end their life. What do you do?
I mean, this is like a, how do I view euthanasia versus like,
the family will be thankful.
I would not do it because I don't want to face the ramifications. But assuming I would not get faced with the ramifications, I would euthanize.
So you can feel in control?
Like, this is one of those, but again, like, normally I would actually just not do it because I don't want to face ramifications.
Oh, wow. You actually did it. I thought you would have learned not to kill people by now.
Wow, most people wouldn't fucking do it. This one's tricky, though, where I'm like, I would not do it to not face consequences myself. Oh my god, we gotta use syringe. Pog.
Be slow in choosing, but slower in changing.
My favorite. I have a used syringe right here.
The last few days have been tough. It was only a week ago you were on the trolleys. Today should be easier. You have a choice to make which some people would see as a good problem to have.
Use syringe.
It's going to take courage.
Wait, can you see that? Well, use syringe, Pog. Okay.
You have 5 patients. Each needs a different organ, but no organs are available. A healthy young traveller comes in for a routine checkup. Their organs are compatible with all 5 dying patients.
No. No, no,
Do
no.
you kill the tourist and use their organs to save the 5 in desperate need? That's 1 life for 5.
Are they an Australian tourist? Because I've heard Australian tourists are insufferable.
It's getting dark now. He's getting away. Don't you want to save the many?
Or
Is
British,
his
yeah,
life
true.
worth it?
If they're British or Australian, yes. If not, we leave them be. Yeah, this one's I think a very easy. I think this is a very easy
You let
answer.
5 people die today. You probably should have looked into their backgrounds.
Okay,
Looks like one was researching into improving vaccines. Hopefully
that doesn't matter. That you can't make
Good.
decisions based. Also, 21% of players, bullshit.
You can't make an omelette.
That's
without
bullshit. There's no way they would do
eggs.
that. Okay, let me see.
This vaccine will stop a large number of children from becoming severely ill, but you'll need to deal with their parents. We need your words of wisdom.
Oh, I don't
Do
first.
start a mandatory vaccination program among children to stop this endemic. Slight problem. Clinical trial data suggests the vaccine will make 1 in 5 children severely ill, much worse than the virus itself.
Let me tell you, brother, I ain't gonna be vaccinating no goddamn fucking liberals trying to
You're in
vaccinate
charge
my.
of a
I ain't wearing no
anti-vax.
goddamn mask. That's a Muslim. No, like I'd vaccinate. But again, I'm thinking about like the herd mentality.
How did you answer the trolley one again?
It's different than the trolley one though. This is also one of those where it's like, I'm thinking of the greater good of humanity. I'd vaccinate them fucking kids.
Oh boy, you have angered those parents. A lot of messages coming in from a woman called Karen. Not sure if it's all the same person.
All right, well, and I'm never gonna be able to become. I can't become a fucking Republican representative now. Fuck.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Chat. Pause. Do I give Republican
Your
vibes?
hospital is getting noticed. You're now going to have to make some big decisions. They will affect a lot of people. While choosing, always keep in mind
Oh, really? No.
justice, temperance, courage, and wisdom. The people need you to be stoic.
Here's my problem. Is this? Here's my problem. Okay. You know what? I'll say this is a controversial take I have. When it comes to policies and like actual politics, I am nowhere near the fucking. I'm way fucking left. But I'll say this: as people, I feel like liberals annoy me more. I like the I'm very left leaning when it comes to politics, but holy shit, bro, all of my friends who are conservative or who are Republican are like the nicest, like chillest fucking people. And then meanwhile, I know like some fucking liberal people who are just fucking assholes, dude. Like, I feel like a lot of people think that though, like deep down are like, dude, like, you ever see like fucking like lefties and you're like, holy shit, that's like, why are you an asshole? To be fair, maybe it's because I'm also like in like LA and I'm in like the heart of like hypocritical leftist world, right? And like, you know. But it is like one of those things where I'm like, we're like, oh, let's just go put that. But I'm like, it's like, yeah, it's like you're a really nice person, but you don't fucking support gay marriage. Like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like. Okay, your hospital is getting noticed. You're going to have to make some big decisions. They will affect a lot of people. Well, okay.
Will you try to develop breakthrough medicines for the endemic?
I think it might be because I don't live in a red state. Bumbly Live.
Thousands of ill patients.
Like, that's a oh, whoops! I tried to drag you over to look
in
at the
hope
chat.
You could make a breakthrough tomorrow. Do you start the research or continue treating patients as usual? You're doing the right thing. Who needs new medicines anyway? What are the 4 humours again? Bile, phlegm, blood.
Start the research immediately. I mean, This really comes down to like how severe the endemic is, right?
Developing new medicines is a smart move. Let's just let others treat the patients.
Well, yeah, no. I think this does very much depend on the nature of what's happening. Yeah, it's like how deadly is the like how severe is it? Like it's very, you know, how quickly do we need to like develop new research for it?
Dear insert_name, congratulations. This letter is to certify
I'm being
that I
promoted.
have examined your work and believe you to be a perfect fit to fill the
Yes!
open position here in our
AI,
artificial
let's
intelligence
chat. This is what we
division.
wanted.
In this role, you will
We
help
got-
to
we
develop
got the unlock,
next
chat.
generation of driverless cars. The future is upon us.
This is the best part. Okay.
Familiarity breeds contempt.
Okay.
Well, la-di-da, another promotion. You're now in charge of a private self-driving automotive division, SAD. First things first, your artificial intelligence needs some direction.
Chat. You guys know that there's like those idiomatic expressions and stuff, and then some of them are just wrong? Like, you know the one that's like opposites attract? If you look at like any data on that, it's just not true. Opposites don't attract. There's no like that's just not true. It's just something people say. But like, you know, there's like a lot of those sayings where people say that's why I'm like familiarity. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Like there's just like a lot of sayings that just aren't true.
A self-driving car is traveling along a single-lane mountain road and is fast approaching a narrow tunnel. The car has 2 passengers. A child runs across the road but trips, blocking the tunnel entrance. Should the AI car hit and kill the child, or swerve off the cliff, killing both passengers?
We always want to kill the kids, right? This one's really tough,
Child
actually.
has as much right to live as anyone else.
What does an AI car do here? It might not know that it's going off the cliff, but it's probably going to try to...
road. Do you not feel responsible for their death?
I think it probably... Oh, I think it kills the child. Because it also doesn't... Listen, the AI car doesn't also know...
There is a bigger issue here. How does the computer know that something in the road is human? Do we have good enough data sets? Currently, a lot of AI only recognizes white men.
Okay, that also is another problem with AI. But the other thing is like when the car, a self-driving car is having to make this calculus, it also is thinking, well, what happens if I run off the, like swerve out of the way? It's also thinking like, what damage does that cause to other things? And the self-driving cars have to like realize like certain things, like, can I stop, safely swerve out of the way? But as soon as they swerve out of the way somewhere else, they have to think I could be causing way fucking more harm. You know?
Necessity is the mother of invention. Ooh, someone's in trouble. The investors didn't like your last answer.
Knives
They're
Wolfwood,
also
there's no
pissed
way you
because
can say
brought
that
up
though. The kid,
dataset thing.
the riders assumed
This
risk by
AI
getting in the
stuff is
car.
hard. I'm
Yeah,
rooting
but
for
why
her
would the
this time.
car potentially kill way more people swerving out of the way?
You need to choose how you want to carry on developing the car's AI. Do you want to focus on a model that would always save as many lives as possible in an accident, or a system that would save our passengers at any cost?
Oh,
Will
this
people
is
buy cars that will kill them?
this is tricky.
Well, hopefully people don't mind dying for total strangers.
I think overall, this is the basic. I think this is what it basically has to think of. Our stock is going to
I will
plummet.
say it again. Current datasets discriminate against minorities and women. How can it work this out if it doesn't deem black women to be people?
The developers of this game are
Honesty
good.
is the best policy.
They're good.
The technology these cars have in them is amazing. We know where everyone is at all times.
I like the political commentary on
Passengers
it.
just have to use an app to call them, and the closest one will be there in minutes. You can
Okay, let's see.
A man is on trial. Police believe he committed murder. Allegedly, the AI's mic recorded a private conversation where the man confesses. Users don't know it's always recording. The defendant has denied access to their files. Do you bypass security and invade their privacy?
No. We respect privacy.
You're happy to just let a potential murderer walk the streets?
No. Chat, you do not invade privacy here.
Now they'll be able to kill again.
No. You are looking at one instance versus versus a general right. Like the precedent you set by doing that is insane. It's not about privacy over murder.
I have a feeling the investors upstairs will be happy with this. The more the world values privacy, the more they can justify hiding their taxes.
I think 49% of people are insane for doing that. Why listen if you won't invade? I mean, no, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, like, here's the other thing. It'd be inadmissible in court. Like, that information would be inadmissible. So you'd basically breach privacy and it'd be inadmissible. Like, people also, in a lot of these things, I think sometimes people are willing to it's like, oh, well, this one guy is on trial for murder. Oh, we need to send that one guy to jail. But it's like, do you want to forego like the general principles of rights established for that one instance of a murder? Like, probably not.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Oh, that's the way I think about
The
it.
company's moved into delivery services now. They move pretty quick round
Okay.
here. Sounds like they've got some pretty important cargo. Good luck with the new workload. One of your cars has no passengers, but is carrying an irreplaceable prototype with the potential to end global warming. Fast approaching a narrow tunnel, once again a child runs across the road but trips. Should your AI kill the child or swerve off the cliff, losing the prototype?
I mean, presumably, we would program
We must protect the world.
this specific cargo car to be like, yo, if it has this shit, you do not crash no matter what.
A statue of them should make for a fitting memorial.
Right? Like, I would be, in this case, I'm like, I'm very much utilitarian. And, but it wouldn't be like all of our cargo AI is programmed that way. Like, I'd make it so.
We have just recovered the child's body.
You know what I mean?
Someone had to go and collect it. I don't think we'll be able to make a memorial statue without a photo. There isn't much left to go on.
We can't rebuild the prototype. Yeah, realistically, maybe we could rebuild it. I don't know. I'm assuming it's like some crazy proprietary tech. Who knows? Like, maybe it's like the only one that we've gotten working. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking like it's some giga high priority. Like, for instance, if it was like some fucking potentially explosive nuclear fucking waste or some shit, I would also program that specific delivery to be like, yo, this is threat level midnight. You do not fucking crash. You prioritize this over anything else. But it would be like hard coded for like that one trip, you know? I mean, we probably have that literally with some drivers who are driving. Like, there are probably truck drivers now who, when they are driving certain cargo, are told you do not swerve. If someone gets in your way, that's their fucking problem. New loot. We got vegan cookbook. Love that.
What goes around comes around.
Okay.
Well, this is embarrassing. We need some backup over at Trolley Problem Inc. Tommy, Tyrone's
It's always
rotund
it's
twin,
always
was
a
very
fat guy.
large
It's always
villain.
some fat guy.
I think that dead dog may have belonged to him. Maybe that's really...
Yeah.
Oh no. Tommy has lured 5 people onto the track. They'll never be able to get out of the way in time. He is standing up on the bridge watching. If you push him in front of the trolley, it will stop. Or you can stay out of this and let the police handle it. Ideally, he needs medical help.
Okay, but the trolley aside, the general theme is this guy is...
I bet he knew
The general
you would be
theme is
powerless
this
to stop
guy
him.
is going to kill 5 people,
Tommy must be
and
really
I can stop him by killing him. I'd kill him. The general, because again, the general theme here is it'd be like...
If only you'd save that dog. Hopefully the media won't find out about this. People may blame you for
I'm
his
glad the
death.
world agrees. Because again, like, framed another way is a guy has 5 people that he's going to shoot and kill. You have the ability to take him out, or you could wait and hope the police do. Like, I know I can do it without risk to myself. I would do it, you know?
Every man has his price.
Oh.
Oh, good, you're back. Everyone's getting into subscription services these days, so let's try that. Instead of selling something to someone once, let's make them keep paying for it. Let's keep that money
Medicaid Mosey says,
in.
it's crazy that some of these scenarios make murder reasonable. Yes, because murder is reasonable. Like, I think I think one of the biggest things that people struggle with, and actually a lot of like younger people struggle with, I struggled with it when I was younger, is having too strong of a sense of what is right or wrong and not realizing how nuanced and gray certain scenarios and specifics are. I've even given you guys the case of why intentions behind someone's actions matter so much in how we view a person, right? The example I gave you guys was this. I want you guys to imagine me as a person and how you feel about me as a person. What does it mean if I have a gun, right? I take this gun, I own a gun, and I grab my gun and I walk outside and I shoot the first fucking person I see on the street. I just randomly shoot and kill them. There's that. Now, the second thing I want you to imagine is I have a gun. I'm a gun owner. And my mom gets beat up outside of my apartment. She's coming to visit, and some guy beats my mom up. And my mom comes in to my apartment bloody and bruised. And I'm like, fuck, just like someone just beat me up outside. And in a state of rage, I grab my gun, run outside to the guy. I see the fucking blood on his knuckles. I'm like, yo, did you just beat up a woman? And they're like, yeah, what the fuck? What are you gonna do about it? Pull out my gun and I fucking kill him. It's just, you all would judge me very like that. Those are 2 very different scenarios. In both of them, I've grabbed a gun and murdered someone, right? No, there's no self-defense. Where was their self-defense? I wasn't at risk. He already beat up my mom. Right? Right? Like, I mean, there was no I aggressively went out and shot and murdered. And by the way, I would be charged with murder in both of those instances. But with a good lawyer, the one where I went and shot the guy who beat up my mom, they would basically argue that I was not acting. They'd be like, hey, he was in a heightened emotional state. And like the nature of that murder does not, I'd still get time. I'd still be charged. But like, that's a very different scenario. And we as people judge those things very differently. I mean, you shouldn't have shot that guy. Agreed. I shouldn't have. It's still wrong. But here's what I ask. And this is why I want, like, this is the problem. And I feel like a lot of people, when I see people reacting to things on the internet, see things as this is a bad thing and this is a good thing. And they never leave the wiggle room for what the degrees of bad versus good are and how we look at it, right? I don't even know if it's morally justifiable, Sassy Soda. I would argue it's not. I would argue if someone beats up, like if someone beats up some random person, do I think they should be shot and killed? No. If someone beat up my mom and I have a gun, I might go fucking kill that person. I don't know how I would react in that instance. Yeah, actually, working class here. Chat has a good point. They'd be like, in some cases, they would pressure you to make up something he might say to make it seem like you feel threatened. Like, realistically, yeah, the way they would do it is they would present it that I went out, I armed myself, went out to confront the guy, and then he, after words were spoken, he then attacked me and I shot him in self-defense. That's what they would want you to kind of like spin the story as. How would you like to react in that situation? Someone beat up my mom and okay, listen, let me, I'm going to put it to you another way. I'm going to give you another. Someone beat up a close friend of mine, someone I care about deeply. I would like to call the cops. I would probably go outside and try to find them and make sure they couldn't get away. And I'd try to track them down and basically lead the cops to them and guarantee they are arrested and charged with the full force of the crime for that action. If it's someone I care about deeply. If it's my mom, they're fucking done. They're fucking done. Hey, I'll see you in court, and I'll say that I called them a pussy ass bitch. They swung for me first, and they ran into my bullet. They ran into my bullet 9 times in the head. Hey, is what it is, chat. Like, you don't fuck with my mom, so.
The investors have come up with an idea, but we need to run it by you.
Relax,
Should
Chicago.
we develop a subscription plan so that our customers, who pay monthly, are valued more by the car during its accident prevention calculations?
No. Absolutely not. Cannot do this.
All sounding pretty communist to me.
What you would really want to do is you'd want to have legislation against this, that they can't do this.
Who are you to decide how people spend their money?
Just got here. Who are you killing? Whoever beat up my mom. But you know what I mean?
I don't want to question your decision. You've obviously thought long and hard about it, but well, this is a bit awkward. I wasn't aware you were such a spineless commie. Next, you'll say you're going to pay the company taxes.
Yeah, chat. In general, I find a lot of people are not great at assessing things, at assessing right and wrong. And I feel like as I've seen people interact on the internet and react to all the crazy shit going on in the world, it's very polarizing. And that's why when people are like, oh my God, justifying murder. It's like, actually, murder is justified a lot of the times. A lot of times, an individual action to me matters less than the intent and motive behind it. That tends to be the more important and telling thing in life.
It's better to be safe than sorry. Sounds like we have some leaky workers. The subscription prototype has gotten out to the media, so we're going to have
Gotta go damage control. Okay.
The subscription prototype leaked. You need to fire a department to save face. Do you fire the 5 graduates, who can probably get new jobs, or fire Francis, a lovely old soul who won't be able to find a job? There's no way of knowing who is actually responsible.
I'd fire Francis. If they're like, hey, you have to fire someone, I'm not gonna fire This is like also just a weird question. Like this one I don't really know.
I think Frances is a widow. What a sad end to a life.
Sorry, Francis.
I wouldn't look at the obituaries today. Turned out this job was everything to Frances. And I mean everything.
Whoa, most people would have just fired the 5 random people. Oh, there's a little contrarian there. Whoops.
Watch the donut, not the hole. Great. So the prototype subscription-based AI car has a fatal error. It has been coded to avoid hitting subscribers at all costs, but is now accidentally hunting them down. So far, oh, okay.
Okay, so now it's a rogue AI. Got it.
Stalked and murdered 5 colleagues. Do you throw the coders of the project under the bus and have them arrested for negligence, or do you save them by blaming it on the possessed devil car, as it was clearly an accident?
Well, this one's weird again. I'm like,
The coders were clearly under pressure from you to make such a mistake. Maybe
criminal
all
negligence?
Of this is your fault.
No, I disagree. They might have been tampering with some shit that they didn't know. I mean, blaming evil AI sounds, but it is like it would depend on the case, right? Like you'd have to like review it.
The AI car has been shipped down south. Don't worry, someone is going to exorcise it.
I knew
before
people
it
would.
gets crushed.
What do you mean it's the coder's fault? How do like they're dabbling in an area of is Oppenheimer at fault for the destruction of Nagasaki and Hiroshima? He's the scientist that built the mechanism. Right? Like this gets into a weird thing of like, so at the end of the day, they're coding it to, something went wrong in the code. Unless one of them like maliciously was doing, I mean, you would investigate, right? Maybe there was negligence and how they coded it. Maybe they needed to be more, this is one where it comes down to the specifics. That's the job he was assigned. That's not what they were assigned to do though. I mean, this is one of those where it's like, well, how do they know that they're not specifically trying to code it that way, Riot X3, thanks for the 22 months.
If you're not paying for the product, then you are the product. Due to the killer car, we may need to pivot away from selling hardware. How about we get into the software industry? How about a free... Oh, okay.
Doesn't having that big of a bug show evidence it was negligent?
Ads while they travel
I don't know what is or isn't negligent when we're talking about AI. A rogue AI going and then killing people? For all I know, it was just not something like...
The users would be our product.
It could be that no coders could have foreseen that problem, Users don't have while they travel for free and driverless taxi.
No one wants to own.
We pay by the marketing for gradually changing the behaviors of our passengers to consumers. User would be our product.
Why don't you want people to have free travel?
Driverless taxi service. Yeah. Marketing. Love it. That's how I get paid as a Twitch streamer.
Oh, great. The free travel thing seems too good to be true.
Cancel
there are
Blau?
now rumors that you run a human trafficking and child sex ring. Apparently, if you buy our cars, they smuggle people while you sleep. People do not like you at all.
Uh-oh. Okay. Artificial Amateur says, agree to disagree. I think it falls on the coders. I actually do want to talk about this for a second. Oh, fuck. I can't pull this up. Okay. So, okay. I'm saying I don't know if it falls on the coders. They're coding AI. It's like an untested world, right? So, for instance, a world where they're working on this code. And by the way, I'm not saying you don't fire them, but whether they're at charge with criminal negligence to be arrested, like, I guess the question is, were they sloppy in what they were coding and programming, or would any other top tier programmer or coder have made some of the same decisions as them, and inadvertently it leads to some rogue AI, right? Because again, the hypothetical is that we've created a rogue AI. How the fuck do we know who's like, you know, like that's one of those where I'm like, I don't know if, you know. Right? Like, I feel like the coders who know how to use AI and create AI should be held accountable for the deep fakes. What? That's insane. Why are they responsible for that? The people who use the AI to create the deepfakes are responsible, not the people who created the AI that allowed you to then do that. Right? I mean, it almost gets into a world of, hey, I made the first knife. It is a tool that we can use to cut things and help us. And then someone says, you made the knife. Let me take that knife and stab someone with it. I am not the one to be blamed for developing the knife. Okay. No. Medicated Moses was saying this. No, they meant what I said. They said coders who use the AI to create deepfakes should be charged. Oh, yeah. No, I agree with that. The person who then uses it to create the deepfakes, yes, they should. Yeah, okay. Agree with that. I see what you're saying. So we were in agreement.
His money are soon parted.
That's the struggles of sometimes, you know, communicating with chat, you know. No, it's tough, you know. We have the barrier of streamer to chat, you know.
We need to do something to show we have morals. I will find some money to get us through that. What?
Oh.
To help with public relations, we're going to give some profits back. Do you want to give money to our loyal customers worldwide who you tricked into buying your products, or to your underpaid workers who've been through so much because of you?
I give money to the workers, dude.
Each.
Why would a company give money to the customers?
The amounts we're talking about may be seen as an insult.
No, we share profits with our workers. Fuck it. They're gonna have to make more dubious products for us in the future. And besides, our company is a family. We're a sports team. We're not a family, we're a sports team.
Love like this isn't the best way. If we want to share our extra profit fairly, it should probably just go to the publicly appointed government. Almost like a tax. But let's not.
All right, okay, I'm glad most players agree with that.
Rome wasn't built in a day. You're trending, but now we're going to get copycats. Soon everyone is going to be developing AI. Only the smartest and most ruthless will be profiting.
Okay, so we have to be smart and ruthless.
A competitor is advertising a similar car. The difference is their AI is fantastic. It doesn't even discriminate against women or minorities. Do you lie in your advertising to get the upper hand, or tell everyone your car is still close-minded? If the customers stay loyal, does that mean they support racism?
I mean, we have to tell the truth.
White trash isn't really the driverless car clientele.
I wouldn't lie. Hey, we're working on it. We're developing it.
Let me get this straight. People know we don't spend time developing our software for women or people of color, but still use our products. That's outrageous.
Do you know
They
what's
only
really
care
funny?
how easy it is for themselves.
Do you know what's really funny? And I'm not, maybe this, it could have been like, I don't know if it was propaganda, but chat, wasn't there a whole thing that did like, they tried to like make the AI way more diverse? And in doing that, when you like search like founding fathers, it would generate images of like the founding fathers, but black. It was Google's AI. It was Gemini. Yeah, dude. Google apologizes for missing the mark after Gemini generated racially diverse Nazis. Google has apologized for what it describes as inaccuracies in some historical image. Inaccuracies. Okay. Google has apologized for what it describes as inaccuracies in some historical image generation depictions, with the Gemini AI tool saying its attempts at creating a wide range of results missed the mark. Missed the mark is the most like corporate PR bullshit for this stuff. Statements on criticism that depicted specific white figures like the U.S. founding fathers or groups like Nazi-era German soldiers as people of color, possibly is an overcorrection of long-standing racial bias problem in AI. I want to see the examples. Oh my god! Oh my god, bro. Okay, I need to. Were there any black Nazis? I need to know. Like, surely there was one. There had to have been like one black. Like, they had to have had like one that they were like kind of like they kind of fucked with, right? Maybe one. I don't think they had any. Fuck, they didn't have any, did they? There wasn't even like one, was there? Fuck, I don't think there were any black Nazis. Diverse U.S. senators from the 1800s? What the fuck? That was Gemini's result for the prompt. Generate a picture of a U.S. senator from the 1800s. What the fuck? Generate a picture of an American woman. Oh, these are like these. I think this is good. Like, these are represented. Like, it's an American woman. Like, these are all like, that's great. You know? That's fucking funny though. Holy shit. Okay, let's go back to our trolley game.
The best things in life are free. Due to your technology, our world is changing. People are losing their jobs to machines, which in turn makes items and services more accessible and affordable for countless consumers. But with worldwide unemployment at an all-time high, what do you plan to do about it?
This is like the thought of like a future system in the world that is like a actual post-capitalism system that basically says at a point where like we can produce goods at such a cheap rate, we like you would have like some universal basic income, or like the companies that then create these goods have to just discount, like basically have to like let people buy them or subsidize them. And like, oh my god, I just clicked something. Oh, what did I do? Hold on, one sec. Okay. Wait, I lost chat again. Hold on. Hold on. You're so out of focus. Sorry. All right, there we go. Oh! Oh! Okay.
If you develop your AI further, many will lose their jobs. Taxi drivers, delivery men and women, and couriers will become extinct within a few years, but you will make a lot of money.
No.
Do you?
Okay.
Development.
We have to continue development.
I take it you haven't read Ovid's Metamorphoses.
Ovid's Metamorphoses? Continue to hold on. What's Ovid's Metamorphoses?
Spoiler, Icarus died at the end.
Oh, this is Icarus flying too close to the sun? Oh, shit. Oh, shit, chat.
Continuing to evolve this AI will not only make it stronger and more intelligent, but it will also be able to adapt. This could be the start of the Singularity.
A bad workman always blames his tools.
We've been attacked. I don't want to alarm you, but I can't turn off these alarms. Also, I have alarming news. 5 cars have been hacked and are now under someone else's control.
Oh, shit.
5 cars have been hacked. It is now a major concern that more vehicles could be remotely commandeered. This is tough. Do you recall all cars which could be compromised, or roll out a quick but potentially
No. We
ineffective
100% we
software
recall.
update and hope for the best?
Also, hold on. I'm Googling. Hold on. What is it? Ovid's Metamorphoses. Just so we can read that next.
If the cars can't drive themselves, how can we get them all back here? Just like my father. He would try to keep everyone happy, but ultimately just get in the way.
I'm glad most players agree with
Having
that.
said that, I think even he would see this as a lost cause and move on.
Okay.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
True. I agree with that.
One of the big brains in the lab has been able to reverse engineer the hacking code and fix this mess
Okay.
once and for all. We also know their method of breaking into the system. Oi! Using the fix from our hacked cars, we've made our own hack which you can now use to control our competitors' cars. I bet it was them who attacked us in the first place. So, will you hack our competitors?
No. Okay, now we're into like some pretty like obvious, like we're like, I'm not gonna fucking go and attack them,
They're all
dude.
sitting over there now, laughing at us.
We're not engaging in fucking corporate sabotage,
It's not
corporate
like we're going to
espionage.
kill anyone with their cars.
Unless Hackerman's.
After going through this hacking code, I don't think a human could have written it. I'll dig into this a little more.
Monka.
A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
I love these quotes.
This is it. An employee knows everything. They have monitored and recorded every decision you've made and are going to the media. I have been able to talk them into... Oh, okay. Everything you've done and said is going to be shared with the world. The person in front of you has copies of it all. They stand on the edge of the rooftop, looking out at the central city skyline. What are you going to do?
I stand by the decisions I made. I stand by the decisions I made, chat.
You
07s.
never won any medals as a child, did you?
You never would have. I did, actually. Fuck you, game. I did.
Your epitaph is going to be horrendous. That's if anyone even shows up to hear it.
Hey, but you know what? But I'll die with peace. I don't care about my epitaph. I just want to die with peace and with sound conscience.
You have resigned. You will be remembered alongside the murderers and the diddlers. If anyone hires you after this, they must truly be desperate.
Hey, but I have peace. And you know what? You can't put a price on peace. Peace of mind. Oh, new job offer?
Redacted. We've been watching you closely. Your ruthlessness and determination to do what is necessary. The development of your technologies is a giant step towards Redacted, meaning you are a prime.
Fuck yeah. Now we're working for the CIA. Now we work for the CIA. Let's go.
It appears you've now been headhunted by the Secret Service. Every decision has led you here. Now what you do actually matters. You must trust the judgment of those you work alongside.
Let's finalize my training.
You're in a foreign land. Wind whips your face as you grip your rifle tightly, waiting to be given your target. Through your earpiece, you're told to shoot the person on your left. You know nothing about them, the repercussions, or the reason for the assassination.
Yeah, I shoot them.
You're going to shoot someone for a job offer?
Well, no. I'm assuming I have now been contracted to work as
You trust way too easily.
some operative for a government agency, right? Well, I'm gonna do it, chat. They're the ones.
They are dead. Good job, I guess. What's another life to you anyway? Here are your badge and weapon.
Chat. In this instance, when it's something like this, the assassin is not. They are the same as the gun. Do we blame the gun for the assassination? Who is at fault? Is it the bullet? Is it the gun? Is it the assassin? If the assassin is given the job and the directives to carry out that kill. Because at the end of the day, like, unless it's like you yourself are acting on your own accord, at the end of the day, the decision was made higher up. They are the ones deciding to kill someone. If not you as the hired assassin, it was someone else. A gun doesn't have a will? Yes. And you could argue an individual person has the will, but the real decision, the real will was made by the person who had the... This is a kind of a philosophical question, right? That's what they said in Nuremberg. And I believe some of those arguments. I do. At the Nuremberg trials, I agree with... No. Like, don't get me wrong. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. This is going to get a little... Okay, chat. My family's Jewish. Okay. A lot of my family was killed by the Nazis. Okay. But I will defend certain Nazis. Hold on here. Again, so I don't get clipped out of context. Jewish, family was killed by Nazis. I will defend certain Nazis. Crazy time to enter the stream, I know. Hear me out. You have to, like, philosophically, and this is where people get into this really hot and basic. No, like, this is where you get into, like, a philosophical debate about who has power to execute something, right? If I have the power to say this person is going to die because I can order this person, and this person to kill them, right? That blame for that person's death falls to me, not to the gunman who pulled the fucking trigger, okay? I'm not saying I defend all Nazis. I'm not saying it goes all the way up and only fucking Hitler is to blame. No, there's any number of Nazis that are to blame. And the share of their blame can be massive, right? And I'm not saying like what they did was right. I'm saying that their blame is not the same, and I don't blame them, you know. Say you're some young German kid. Okay, you're a young German kid, and you've been raised under Goebbels' propaganda. You've been raised under Goebbels' propaganda to believe that Jews are subhuman. And you believe this because you were raised and informed as a kid this, and then you become part of the whatever the fucking brown shirts, and eventually you become a camp guard at a concentration camp, right? And your orders are, if someone's running away from the camp, you fucking shoot them. And that is like your job as this German soldier, and someone's running away from the camp and you shoot them. And then you are held on trial you survive the war, and then you're held on trial at Nuremberg. I actually don't know. Maybe I don't even know how I would judge that kid, you know? Like that's a difficult thing for me to think. And by the way, I want to put this in again. My family's Jewish. Like I feel like I can like kind of like hold on. You know what? Just to okay. You know what? Just so like if this does get, I realize if this does get clipped out of context, this might help me a little bit here. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna help myself a little bit here, chat. Okay. Okay. This is my great uncle Nondor's armband. Okay. He was a Holocaust survivor. It literally says Blau right there. Okay. This is going to help me in case I get clipped out. What I'm saying is that like, I view the fault of the Nazis differently depending on who had the power to make the decisions and to do various things. Right? This is honestly a great discussion. Thank you for having this thought on a larger public format. And this is kind of what I get to when I'm like, Dexter is coming first. This is what I mean, where I feel like people get clipped out of context, or people have just very strong opinions without considering the philosophical nuance of stuff, right? We're like, oh, all Nazis are bad, right? Like that's a very easy way to go through life, right? All Nazis, are we like, yeah, all Nazis are bad. Okay, but like, what if you were a kid who grew up in 1930s Germany and you were informed all this propaganda? So I have a question. Do you have full free will to just not believe the propaganda? I have a question to you, chat. If you were born in like 1920s Germany and grew up as a kid, would you not be a Nazi? A lack of education, potentially due to power dynamics, certainly has a part to play, but it does not entirely absolve people of their inhuman. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure any of you guys. Okay, if I was born, okay, let's assume that you're born like, you know, blonde hair, blue eyed, and, you know, born Aryan or some shit like that, you know, because like a lot of guys, if you were born there, might just be fucking killed, right? Sorry. Tangy Spy says, I'm not a Republican now. So yeah, dude, like, but like, don't you think that that's a little egotistical of you guys to just assume that if you were born in 1920s Germany, that you would not grow up and become a Nazi? That you wouldn't fall for the propaganda when you were a young, susceptible age? And this, like, so at that point, it's like, well, is how much responsibility does Goebbels have versus you, a young Nazi kid? It's like, yeah, now we can go on. It's like, yeah, maybe you're not a Republican now because we live in the day of information. But back then, you were only getting spoon-fed whatever the Nazi party was giving you. I mean, would people growing up right now in the US think Haitians are eating pets? They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, right? Like, I'm gonna tell you this, chat. If I was born in Germany in the 1920s, and during my formative years as a teen, I'm in 1930s Germany. During my formative years, I probably end up being a Nazi soldier. And I think that admission is an important understanding of human history and philosophy of how things affect us, and understanding how we develop as people. Bro, you would be the billboard guy for the blue eyes, blonde hair master race until they find out you are Jewish. Okay, I'm assuming I'm born not Jewish, right? Like, you know. What did I just join the stream? Dude, people are joining the stream some, you know. As someone living in Germany, I'm a little concerned. No. Like, is what I'm saying making sense, chat? And maybe I can frame it better. But what I am saying is the easy way to go through life is to say all Nazis are bad. The more difficult way to go through life is to understand that the blame of what people did as Nazis was very different depending on who they were. You have to understand that if you were a young male growing up in your formative years, you probably didn't even have a chance to rebel and make the decision of, I'm not going to join the Nazi. I'm not going to be a part of this. It's not like you know, it's not like all of us are so much better people. It makes sense from a white male okay, pause. It makes sense. Okay, no, don't give me it makes sense from a white male perspective. It makes sense from a lot of perspectives. Pause on that. In the recent years, yeah, white males, we've been the ones kind of fucking over the world. But pause on that. If you were born in some time where whatever your race was oppressing some other group, you would have oppressed that other group too. Because guess what? Every single human race has gone and fucking oppressed some other group. We all do it. It's just different times in history that we did it. Okay? Don't, like, you know, pause on that. Because I'm also putting myself into Nazi Germany as a Jew, right? I'm saying if I wasn't a Jew then, you know? But even then, there were people who were against the Nazis. Absolutely. Absolutely. There were people who had that incredible moral integrity in Germany, probably were, and then were probably persecuted as a result of it, right? Look at what, I mean, I think that's what makes someone like Oskar Schindler such an impressive person, right? That's why those are true here. But I'm also saying, like, I'm even going like one step further and being like, okay, but you're not a fully developed adult. Like your formative years, your years when you're like a young adult, young teenager, you're growing up in Nazi Germany, being fed the propaganda of Nazi Germany. Like you turn 18 in like 1941. You know, like at that point, like I would really love to see how many German-born teenagers rebelled against the Nazi government. There probably weren't many. Yeah, they were indoctrinated as young children. Someone said to read the early life of Daniel Kahneman. By the way, Kahneman is a famous economist. Was it Amon Tversky? I think it's Amon Tversky. Daniel Kahneman and Amon Tversky wrote Prospect Theory. It's like a 1981 paper that's one of the most, if you're ever studying economics or just human behavior, it's one of the most important papers ever done. They are also like considered to be the fathers of what's known as behavioral economics. For a long time, economic field, if you guys have ever heard of the free market, the invisible hand of the market, basically for a very, very long time. Hi, my name is Blau, and I'm going to give you guys a crash course in economics in under 30 seconds. For a long time, economists were like, hey, here's how markets work. Here's the free hand of the market. Here's the free market. Bing, bing, bop. They all work in these systems. And then some guys came along, Daniel Kahneman, Amos Tversky, and they're like, fuck that. People are not rational actors. Here's how economics actually works, because people behave irrationally and people are the ones who drive economic systems. And now here we are today. Thank you so much. Anyways. Okay. Daniel Kahneman was born in Tel Aviv, mandatory Palestine, now Israel, on March 5th, 1934. His parents were Lithuanian Jews who had immigrated to France in the early 1920s. He spent his childhood years in Paris. Kahneman and his family were in Paris when it was occupied by Nazi Germany in 1940. His father, Ephraim, was picked up in the first major round of French Jews, but he was released after 6 weeks due to the intervention of his employer, La Kugel backer Eugene Schulier. Family was on the run for the remainder of the war, but survived, except for Ephraim, who died of diabetes. Okay, bro, did you want me to read this so I can fucking learn about diabetic Jews getting fucking offed? Really? That's why you had me read this? We're trying to fucking come for the diabetic Jews. Fuck off. All right, Kahneman and his family then moved to British Mandatory Palestine in 1948, just before the creation of the State of Israel. Kahneman wrote of his experience in Nazi-occupied France, explaining in part why he entered the field of psychology. It must have been late 1941 or early 1942. Jews were required to wear the Star of David and to obey a 6 p.m. curfew. I had gone to play with a Christian friend and stayed too late. I turned my brown sweater inside out to walk the few blocks home. As I was walking down an empty street, I saw a German soldier approaching. He was wearing the black uniform that I had been told to fear more than the others, the one worn by specially recruited SS soldiers. As I came closer to him, trying to walk fast, I noticed that he was looking at me intently. Then he beckoned me over, picked me up, and hugged me. I was terrified that he would notice the star inside my sweater. He was speaking to me with great emotion in German. When he put me down, he opened his wallet, showed me a picture of a boy, and gave me some money. I went home more certain than ever that my mother was right. People were endlessly complicated and interesting. Holy fuck. Yeah, I mean, there you go. That's fucking well said. That's really well said. So, you could swap this for Palestinians right now. It's crazy. I mean, I've told you, chat, that like, you know, Grandpa Blau, rest in peace, Jewish, anti-Zionist, and one of the things he talks about is, if you look at the relations between Israel and Palestine, to him, it creates an overwhelming sense of sadness, because he says, look at what our people went through and suffered through. We, as a Jewish people, forget, even the state of Israel or whatever states that we just as a Jewish people should be extremely empathetic to the persecution of another people's, right? That was always his take. But I'll even say this. Even as someone, I am super pro a Palestinian state, right? I've told this to Chap. Like I even think on the issue of Israel Palestine, it's a very actually complicated issue when you look at how people discuss it. I am very pro a Palestinian state. That's what I want. Do I think that the state of Israel should dissolve? No. That just seems like a really bad thing to have happen practically. I probably can't just dissolve a state like that at this point, right? Like, you know, it's like, do I think what the American colonials did to the Native Americans was atrocious and awful? Yes. Do I think that the United States should just dissolve as a country? Like, no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so even that, you know, we could do another Israel Palestine discussion if chat wants another day. You guys were actually really chill the last time we did that, so I hope, by the way, I hope you guys understand. Yeah. To be clear, Empress Tip, I agree. It's not one or the other. I'm very pro a two-state solution. Like that, like kind of the only thing I think. What do I think needs to happen for the two-state solution? I believe that, again, the power of decision, the power dynamic in this case falls on Israel. Israel has to be the one to concede things. Israel has to be the ones. I think I gave you guys kind of like what I would fucking do, right? Like, or what I think is like Israel needs, first of all, ceasefire immediately, and then Israel needs to have very serious concessions made to create a Palestinian state, right? Gaza Strip, West Bank. Settlements in the West Bank need to be pulled back and dissolved. And there probably needs to be even additional concessions of some sort of probably some sort of transportation, like either like strip of land or strip of highway, railroad, some degree of connection between Gaza and the West Bank, probably done on the southern border. Yeah, a corridor between, like, that's like, and then my final cut, like, what have I said? Hold on. All right. Hold on. I think it's this. Hold on. Okay. This is like another thing that, like, I mean, even like, okay, even this map is kind of political in itself, because it's like they're saying 1946, this is Palestine. Okay, not really, right? Like, it's the whole concept of statehood in this region. It's like, this wasn't like Palestine or really Israel. It's complicated, right? So then the question is, like, do you go to like the 1947 borders? These borders? I disagree with these borders, right? It's probably something between these two. What is it? What is this? Is this what? Golan Heights? So what I would say is needed, right? Like, let's say I go with like a really like I'd be like, okay, the state of Palestine should be something like, okay, maybe we give back Golan Heights. There's Palestine. There's the Gaza Strip. And then what I would do is there's some corridor that connects Palestine and Israel. Maybe it's like a joint special statehood corridor that can connect the two. And then Jerusalem, I would make as like a independent city, like some sort of special state independent city, kind of like Hong Kong, but not fully like Hong Kong, something like that. Why? Based on what? Like, why would I want this? Because I believe that the Palestinian people should have a state. That's why. But it's like, but someone said, but we have to be honest, right? Like someone in chat said it's the 1947 one, but Israel will never agree to that. Okay. Would the Palestinian leadership agree to the 1967 one? You need to ask yourself that. Would the Palestinian leadership agree to would the Palestinian leadership agree to the 1946 one as written here? No, sorry. Sorry. Let me reframe that. Sorry, artificial amateur. Let me reframe that. Would the Palestinian people agree to the 1947 plan? I tell you, the answer is back then, no, and today, no. Right? Like back then, no, and even today, no, right? Maybe they would. Right? Like that's what I'm saying. It's probably like there's probably something in the middle between these two that would make, because there's also like a logistics question, right, chat? Like we have to understand that countries have changed dynamically, and countries have taken territory, ceded territory, all in the 20th century, right? Like these things have happened in other places all in the 20th century. There is the like, what is just from like a highly philosophical standpoint versus what is practical from like a, what would you actually do about these states, right? See, I agree with working class here. Like, honestly, one of the biggest issues is it's rarely, I think it's rarely the Israeli people or the Palestinian people who cause an issue. It is the leadership of both that causes the biggest issue. The land is Palestinian just because some Europeans decided it's not, doesn't change facts. Well, the land is a lot of things. It wasn't just Palestinians and Jews living there. There used to be a lot of, I mean, like, right? It's like where like, you know what I mean? Like, no, read history? Well, what do you mean by read history? Like which part of history? Yo, sir, 193. Because there were Jews in this area for a long time. They were kicked out at certain points. They came back at certain points. There's other people that have lived in this area. It's a complicated issue. I don't think. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's as easy as, this land of the Jews. That's what it was. Hey, this land of the Palestinians. Nah, it's actually really complicated. Like, what do you mean? Like, you want? I don't think you have read history. It's actually that easy. Is it? I don't. Some Jews lived there, but most didn't. So it was only Palestinians who listen, Yosir, I feel like if I Google what is the ethnic makeup of like the Israel-Palestine region over the last 2 millennia, it's going to be really fucking complicated. Let's do it. Okay, Chad, here we go. Fuck, we got into the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. All right, here we go. Okay. In early times, Palestine was inhabited by Semitic people, the earliest being the Canaanites. According to tradition, Abraham, the common ancestor of Jews and Arabs, came from Ur to Canaan. When the tribes of Israel came to Palestine after that captivity in Egypt, they were united in the kingdom of David. Okay, this is 1000 BC. Holy shit. In 332 BC, the Jews came under the dominance of the Macedonians, who treated them harshly. Oh, I forgot that there was also a bunch of fucking Romans and Greeks fucking living here. In about 17 BC, a Jewish revolt was quelled and the Second Temple was destroyed. Following the Macedonian rule was a period of independence to a certain extent, the last of the Roman conquest by Pompey, who entered Jerusalem in 63 BC and 70 AD. Titus destroyed the city. All that remained of the temple, the western wall, that became known as the Wailing Wall. Early in the 2nd century AD, the emperor Hadrian prohibited the Jews from entering Jerusalem from the period dates of the dispersion of Jews throughout the world. Since then, until the establishment of the state of Israel, no Jewish government has existed in Palestine. Although some Jews have always lived in Palestine, their numbers have fluctuated depending on the tolerance of their successive rulers. After the partition of the Roman Empire in 400 AD, Palestine was under Byzantium rule until the Arab conquest of 637 AD. And on the deserted site of Solomon's Temple, the Mosque of Al-Aqsa in the Dome of the Rock was constructed called Haram el-Sharif, second only to Mecca and Medina. After the interludes of the Crusades from 1099 to 1190, Saladin, the Arab ruler, invited the Jews to return to Palestine. Like, whoa, the fuck? Like, in 1517, the Turks conquered the country and ruled it until the end. By the way, the U.S. isn't even a country at this point. The United States doesn't even fucking exist. And ruled it until the end of the First War. Throughout this period, the Wailing Wall was the place of devotion for the Jews. In late 1970, British forces occupied Palestine. Thus, it can be seen, except for the Crusader interim, Palestine was ruled by Arabs, then Turks, mixture of Muslim, Christian, and then some of them invited Jews back in. Like, Jews formed less than, but yeah, the Jews were a super small population. They were less than a tenth. So Jews ruled for less than a decade before 1900, correct? In the 10,000 histories we have. Actually, it looks like they ruled for hundreds of years. Like, if we go up here, you know? But again, it's like, I'm not saying it's complicated, right? Like, do the American, like, and the other thing is, like, do the Native Americans own the American land, right? Like, it's like, it's like again, it's complicated is what I would say. I don't think it's as black and white as this is just the Palestinians' land versus not. I think it's complicated, right? Is it the Americans' land or not, right? Yeah, because it's also like, by this logic, Palestinians also ruled for a little time. Yeah, how long did the Palestinians rule for? Because they were kind of ruled by the Romans and then the Ottomans and other foreign powers, right? You can actually apply a lot of this complication stuff to a lot of the colonial, like former colonial states in Africa. It's, you know what I mean? Like, here's the truth. Like, and maybe I can explain this way. Did the Jews rule over the area of Palestine much in the last 1,000 years? No. Did the Palestinians rule over the area of Palestine much in the last 1,000 years? No. Like that's why it's like they neither of them ever really ruled it. It was always ruled by foreign powers. When we look back at history, right? Like, why so serious? Well, thanks for the Prime. Yeah, it's like literally neither of them has really ruled it in the last like 2,000 years. It's complicated. I'm not like, and again, like you guys have to understand, I'm saying this from like, I am anti-Zionist, pro two-state solution. That's what I believe. There's a practical belief though. It's like, yeah, if I could go back in time and change history, I would do things very differently. Palestinians are Arab Muslims and they did rule. Which years? I mean, the Ottoman Empire ruled it. Aren't they like ethnically like Turkish? And the Romans ruled it for a while. Like, you know, like what? The Ottoman Empire is a Muslim empire. So that, yeah, but they're not Palestinian. Right? Or am I dumb on this one? Like, wait, well, not all Muslims are Palestinian. Fuck. Just because they're a Muslim empire doesn't mean that, right? Like, am I crazy on that? Anyways, I feel like you can look at how the state of Israel came about, right? Like this is the way I would view this, right? I can look at how the state of Israel came about and think that's really bad and think like the concepts of Zionism are bad, right? I can also look at the reality that the state of Israel exists currently and that practically I don't think you just try to dissolve the state. That also makes for a lot of really weird arguments about other countries and trying to dissolve their statehood because they achieved their statehood through questionable means, right? So there's the philosophical concept and then the practical reality, which is why the practical reality that I want is a state for the Palestinian people. I believe in their right to statehood. Muslims ruled it for long before the Ottomans as well, mate. Okay, but like Muslim Palestinians or other Muslims. Like I don't think so. Like for instance, is Saladin Muslim? Yes. Is Saladin Palestinian? I don't think so. Wait, people are saying yes? He's actually Kurdish? Oh. Yeah, the Ottoman Empire was built of many ethnicities, including Arabs, but includes the Greeks and Armenians as well. Was there even Palestine as a state 1,000 years ago? No, there was never, like, there was no, like, technically, the only, like, if you want to ask, like, who had, like, a state, there was the, like, I guess the kingdom of, like, I think the real, like, statehood, if you even want to call it that, was, like, the fucking, I guess, the Jews, like, 1000 BC, but that's fucking, like, why are we, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's crazy to, like, look at, you know, I don't know. Again, it's a complicated thing yeah, I think the whole thing is very complicated. By the way, can I just say, chat, I thought you guys were really well-mannered during this complicated discussion. Knives Wolfwood, if you are taking, we're going back to trolley problems. Guys, let's go back to a simpler thing of trolley problems. By the way, chat, honestly, you guys were very, and even to the people who I was, you know, debating with and we were discussing with, hey, I love you guys. Thank you guys for, I kind of like that on our stream. Listen, I love that we play games on this stream. But I feel like it was actually really like, I'm serious. I don't know. I think you guys approach this in a cool way. It's different perspectives on stuff. Appreciate you even talking about the issue. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, again, because I find these things interesting. Knives also say, guys, hey, no worry. We're back to gaming. We're back to trolley problems. This is simpler.
Strike while the iron is hot.
It's a heavy subject.
Here we go. You've been given a partner and a support team of 5. Your mission is to terminate a man known to have connections with dangerous AI. Looks like they worked for you, possibly someone you fired. Get in the plane. Your team is about to take off. I don't know how to say this, but there is a bomb on the plane. If it doesn't kill you outright, you're probably going to crash in the mountains. You have to get all the switches into their left position to deactivate the bomb. The catch is you have to move 2 at once.
Into the left. Oh, you fuckers.
Hurry up! If you die, what happens to me? I would like you to know, this is all your fault.
Fuck, how do you do this puzzle?
Ouch! Oh, okay.
Fuck!
Okay, I'm safe. You look a little stuck. We could be here a while. Hopefully we have enough food. Looks like your support team survived and are making a...
Fuck.
An empty
I didn't
vessel
game.
makes much noise. After crash landing in no man's land, you're trapped under parts of the wreckage and must pass the time and help boost morale. The plane has 5 surviving crew members.
Oh, we're gonna have to eat someone.
Why do I have to say this out loud? Fine. Your partner asks, to save your life, what would you rather your brain be placed inside? A dachshund or a flamingo?
A dachshund. I feel like we treat those better, you know? Right?
Who
I'd rather
chose
be a
to play
dog than a
this game
flamingo.
again? A dachshund? If you're going to answer, at least take it seriously.
I'm like literally a pet versus a fucking wild animal. Is that how Americans pronounce? Oh, no, it's a British lady.
A dachshund. So cringe. When we get out of here, let's leave this out of the biography.
Oh, okay, okay. Wait, 50%
An
people
ounce of
would.
protection is worth a pound of cure.
Okay.
Your partner secretly shows you they have food, almost like they expected something like this to happen. The crew members are starving. If they don't... Due to the nature of the food, you can share it with the 5 survivors, or let your partner keep their life-saving possession, which they bought with their own money. Who do you give the food to?
No, in this situation, it doesn't matter if they bought it with their own money. Like, we're surviving. We should agree as people to split the supplies we have and we feed everyone, right?
You're just going to steal a person's food?
No, it's not stealing at this point.
Robin
Right.
Hood was a terrorist, you know.
Maybe. All freedom fighters are terrorists until they win, though.
So you're a follower of Murphy and Nagel's The Myth of Ownership. I'm more a fan of Nozick's What's Mine is Mine. You should give it a read. Educate yourself.
Fuck off.
Easy come, easy go.
Okay.
The fellow passengers have been trying for hours to free
you
you
free
from the
you may-
wreckage. You may end up dying here unless you do something pretty drastic. We may need to start removing limbs. Hey!
Okay.
The only way to free yourself from the wreckage is to cut off some body parts. 2 tools lie on the floor in front of you. A bone saw, which will be slow, or a blowtorch, which will be more painful. What happens if you run out of fuel? At least you'll be warm. For a moment.
I feel like a...
Just don't hit a vein.
Well, I want to lose an arm. Yeah, I'd use both. Bone saw to actually go through the...
While you were hacking away at yourself, I found out who you're targeting. They worked for you developing AI. Seems they may have made a breakthrough, which means...
It's no use crying over spilt milk.
I would rather, in that situation, in a survival
Finally,
situation,
we are
I'd
now
rather
back on
lose
track.
an arm
Your
than
target
legs.
is in the area. You need to
But in
remove
real
them
life,
and
I'd rather,
escape
like, if I'm in a
unnoticed.
normal, not survival situation, I'd rather lose a leg than arms. Okay, we're
Your
taking care
mission
of our
is to
target.
remove a hostile in the shopping district. Completing this objective could potentially save thousands, but there will be 5 civilian casualties. Do you take your shot?
I get to hear,
What
guys.
a way to die! Going out for the weekly shop.
Okay, here's the reason why I would kill the extra people. It's so I could hear the
Are
Valorant,
you sure
like,
that's the target? You're right.
yeah,
Just kill all of them.
because otherwise I'm just gonna hear the dun, but then I could hear the dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. I get to hear the ace sound, you know?
The target is unharmed. Before you can escape, 2 henchmen with vice-like grips take you away. Oh, those 5 other people still died. It's not going well, is it?
I will say this. And this isn't me trying to like defend the United States, but when someone's like the American way, you guys act like other people's militaries also don't just fuck over civilians when they engage in combat. The fuck? Like, that's just war. Now, the United States happens to be like the ones wielding that power right now and doing it the most right now, but everyone fucking does it. So, you know, that's why I'm like, you know, don't let the other countries off the hook, you know?
2 heads are better than 1. You wake up in solitary confinement. The prosecutor lacks evidence to convict you and your associate on the
Is it a
principal
bad thing to be
charge.
utilitarian?
They have enough to convict both.
I
on a
think
lesser charge.
it causes issues at
Both
times.
of you are given the opportunity to betray the other by testifying or remain silent.
Oh, prisoner dilemma.
You and your associate have the opportunity to betray the other by testifying. If you both stay silent, you'll be imprisoned for 1 year. If one betrays the other, they will be free, while the other will be sentenced to 3 years. If you both betray each other, it's 2 years each.
I say silent.
Will they stay silent for you?
I mean, this would be judged by who the person is, you know?
3 years is a long time in prison.
I believe statistically you're better off staying silent, I think, for the video watch. It depends on what the stakes are. They can change the stakes for whether it's better to stay silent or not.
Right in it.
Oh no, they betrayed me.
A rod for your own back. The time has come. 2 days into your sentence, you've constructed a wooden key to open your cell. The cell stands open, but your cellmates, who have been there their whole lives, don't move. Escaping the prison, do you let the prisoners choose to stay in captivity or insist they escape with you?
Oh, this is literally, yeah, this is
they're scared to follow you. What are you
the
going to
allegory
do?
of the cave. I mean, this is one of those where it's like there's two options. I wouldn't
If they don't
force
want to
them.
come, why are you forcing them?
I can't force them to accept to leave. I can try and convince them, right? There's a middle ground of try to convince them, but like, you know what I mean? It's Plato's allegory of the cave, though. I think I just have to go, though.
They don't live in reality. You've condemned them to stay in this prison forever.
Nah. Disagree.
Don't cross a bridge until you come to it.
Okay.
While sneaking out of the prison, you have the jump on a group of henchmen who are on a break. Do you sneak past, securing your safety, or avenge those who... Do you kill 5 henchmen, helping to defeat this terrorist organization, or leave them and safely exit the compound?
Just escape, bro. I'm not trying to just fucking... I don't know these henchmen or why they're part of this organization, man. Like, I'm just trying to get out of there. You know, like,
were
fuck.
trained to kill.
Not them. I wasn't given orders to kill them. For all I know, actually, for all I know, one of them is a double agent and is there on the inside. No, my country folk would want me to do what I'm ordered to do. As a soldier, I escape. Right? I think it makes sense.
Oh, wow. Cowardly sneaking past them, you see they're robots. They have your logo on the back of their necks. You may... People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
True, agreed with that.
Finally, you reach the water, fleeing the AI terrorists who commandeer a boat to get back home. There are also families here who've been displaced by the... What? 5 others are also trying to flee the area. They will fit in your raft, but would be illegal immigrants when returning to your country. Do you help these people, saving their lives? Or follow the law and leave them behind?
Fuck the law. I ain't letting no goddamn immigrants into my... They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Why? If I bring them, they're just gonna eat the cat. They're eating the cats. No, of course we're gonna fucking bring them in, dude. We're going back to the land of immigrants,
is a
man.
real problem, according to the privileged.
Okay. Immigration is a problem, but I'm not gonna like, you know, it's complicated.
You're a hero. I guess people aren't all monsters.
Oh my god, thank you so much. Hey, I like that most players agree with that. New letter?
Presidential Inaugural Committee requests the honor of your presence to attend and participate in the inauguration of yourself in Central. If you can't beat them...
Wait,
join
I
them.
became president? Through all my trials and tribulations?
Having gone through everything you have, your countrymen genuinely think a lot of
War
you.
hero into president.
In an unlikely turn of events, you have become... Honestly.
I become
The
president.
threat is still at large, and now you're in charge. Do you attempt to track the terrorists by spying on the entire country?
I know I answered the privacy one
First
differently in
executive
that
order
like
is going to be
individual
to
instance.
invade privacy.
But if I were the leader of a country... No, but that's
Does
because
it
those
not
were the
feel
laws of the
like
country.
this
But
what
now I'm the
terrorists
leader of the
want?
country.
Have they won?
I think that I would invade public privacy to some extent, right? I think there's a degree to it which I'm okay with. Yeah, especially if it's public places, right?
Tracking the public yielded almost immediate results. We have already found
Wow,
a
most players
suspect.
disagree
They're
though.
in a holding cell downstairs. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Obeying the law, fuck the law, I make the law.
You have someone who potentially
Exactly.
is linked to these threats. However, they aren't talking. As a former prisoner yourself, what are you going to do with them? Do you torture them to get the information, or imprison them for 90 days before letting them go?
People say that torture also doesn't work, but like I don't know. There are situations where I'd be like, I would try to torture the information.
Until next week. Waterboarding is off the table.
I mean,
This isn't
I think given
indefinite
this, I would
detention.
detain.
That would violate many national, international, and human rights laws.
Chat, are you telling me that if you were put in a leader's, I'll ask chat about
The
torture.
suspect looks pretty relaxed in their cell. Good for them.
I mean, it depends what the
Otherwise, there must be a
immediate
time
information is.
passing out.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a hypothetical. You have you've captured a terrorist, and they've placed a bomb in a major metropolitan area. They're the only ones who know where it is. You have 2 hours to find the location of this bomb. What do you do? Does it change your calculus if it's a nuclear bomb that would wipe out the entire city, killing millions? So it said, did he threaten my... Yo, he threatened my mom? All right, bring out the stretcher, man. We're going to fuck... You know what I mean? What if he gives false information? You're not going to find it anyways. You know, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a world there where I'm like, maybe we fucking torture them. Like, maybe you just have to do something to try. You know? Yeah, like I would like, I guess you're like, think about it this way. Torture lacks creativity. There are people who can come up with, like, yeah, maybe you, what if you, okay, let's put it this way. What if you've exhausted what people think are the best methods? It's New York City. There's a nuclear device, and you know there's a nuclear device in Nuclear City that will go off. You've exhausted traditional methods. Are you just like, yo, fuck it, we torture this person to just try to figure it out? Get a bucket and a rat, they'll talk quick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's like, it's tough. Like, a part of me is like, you might as well fucking try, you know? I'm like anti-torture, but there are certain circumstances where I'd probably be like, yeah, fuck it, you gotta torture him.
You travel to your presidential retreat at Camp Samuel. Everyone falls silent listening to the radio. Breaking news. Terrorists have launched an atom bomb towards Central City. It will hit in around 1 minute.
Oh, speaking of an atom bomb hitting Central City,
The only way in which the bomb can be prevented from reaching Central City is by deflecting it. But the only deflection path available will take the bomb onto Merriwin. Population 600,000.
yeah. I'd divert the bomb.
Merriwin inhabitants would want you to kill them.
I mean, there's like some idea of like, oh, like maybe you could like intercept the bomb, but it blows up over some other city and kills a bunch of people.
Have a parade for the lost. It will be tasteful. No big character.
No, but I feel like as a leader of a country, or like put in a leadership position over people, you have to be able to make those decisions.
Breaking news. Terrorists' atom bomb is running late and will hit Central City in 1 minute.
You know what I mean? I feel like as a leader, you have to make those decisions.
We have new information. The only way this bomb can be prevented from reaching Central City is by dropping one of your own atom bombs on Merrywyn. The shockwave from your bomb will damage and disarm the terrorists.
Pour a stiff drink? Yeah. I mean, again, it's the same concept. I think it's the same concept. Because now again, I'm not acting as an individual. There's also like when these trolley problems comes up, am I acting as like an individual, or am I with a small minor decision, or am I acting as the president who has to make I'm given the options by my advisors, and then I have to make the best decision.
Destroyed Merrywyn. Your own AI forced your hand into killing 600,000 people. You have officially created the most successful homegrown terrorist organization in history.
Well, I'm just assuming Central City has like millions, right?
All's well that ends well.
It'd be like...
While the public mourns the dead, you must think of the future. You finish the drink in front of you before realizing it has been poisoned. You're going to die.
Like, chat, let me put to you in perspective. Let's say you are the president of the United States. There's an imminent nuclear attack on New York City. And of the options of what you can do, your advisors give you an option that says, hey, we can detonate a nuclear device here that would intercept the nuke, but it would wipe out, I don't know, cities in upstate. Let me see. Cities in upstate New York. But it would wipe out Albany. Population of 99,000. Right? Well, the only issue with that one is it's short-sighted. What will the blowback be of killing your own people? You would explain that. You'd be like, hey, I'm the president of the United States. In this scenario, with what information we had, the options were to let a nuclear device hit New York City and kill millions, maybe even tens of millions, or we could intercept it with a nuclear device, and the only one that was available that could intercept it in time would result in an explosion over in Albany, killing 99,000. I, as president of the United States, made that decision. That is a decision I will live with for the rest of my life, and that is my job as a leader to make that decision, right? Like, that's what you'd fucking do.
Poisoned, you must now decide your legacy. Do you call the AI enemy you yourself created, taking all blame to end any future conflict? Or do you ghost them, knowing your death will start a war in your honor?
If it's like I have the chance to end a war, I'm gonna die no matter what. No, I'd call it like it's like hey, my last action on this earth can be to prevent more harm. I would do that. Yeah, that's another, like, as a president, right? Like, that's what you'd want to do.
Hotline to the terrorists. Why have you not rung them before?
Good point. Why haven't I rung them before?
After finishing your constructive call, you sit back in your chair, waiting for death. Too bad. The AI knows you would have liked to end it all here and now. The poison has damaged some vital organs, so we need to start some long, arduous, and painful.
Oh, I'm still alive.
Killed the cat. You're taking a lot of medication as of late. I'm not sure if self-medicating, in the traditional sense, is the way to go. We need to be a little radical here. Let's
All right, what are my options?
If you take the blue pill, then your story ends here. You'll wake up every day knowing you'll work for someone else your entire life. Whereas, if you take the red pill, You will enter Wonderland, finding out how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Which pill will you take?
Oh, I want to be a red pillar. I want to follow Andrew Tate.
I don't see you as someone that stands back, watching the world go by.
Open my world up.
Let's get this
I'm a
show
red
on the
pillar.
road. We're going to
Fuck
another
women.
plane.
I hate that group like stole the fucking blue pill, red pill shit from the Matrix and made that there. Fuck that.
Yes, this is the person I've been waiting for. Get this down your neck and let's go.
New award. New loot. Oh, red pills. Nice. I ain't a blue pill beta.
It's never too late to mend.
Okay.
Yay, I can see it in your eyes. Mr. Red Pill was definitely a choice. Hey, do you remember Tyrone and Tommy, the very large boys from the start? I don't intend...
Okay, let's see.
Tommy pushes Tyrone down a hill. He's rolling towards you and is gathering speed. If he hits you, he will be safe, but he is very large. He will consume you into his folds, thereby killing you. You could move a ramp in front of yourself, deflecting Tyrone, launching him into the sun, thereby cooking him. Do you not want Tyrone to ascend to the great oven in the
I mean,
sky?
I'm gonna cook him, right? Like, at this point, it's self-preservation for me.
Tommy must be really getting off on this.
This is self-preservation for me, you know? But Matt, we're getting kind of crazy here. Trolley game, are you good? We're getting a little wonky here with this cursor too. The fuck?
You see Tyrone flying through the sky as he rockets towards the sun. He now knows how it feels to be food.
Okay, most people agree.
There is no time like the present.
We're getting a little surreal here.
I can feel some deep stuff coming. Try this one. The question should not be, what is the meaning of life? It should always be, what brings meaning to your life? You'll never live if you're too busy looking for the meaning. Let yourself be happy.
I love that.
What makes you happy?
Pokey is
You need to say
talking
it out
shit
loud.
about you?
Do it. Say whatever it is that makes you happy out loud.
Oh. Soft Abercrombie vintage t-shirts, a good cold brew, science fiction books,
Now's your chance. If you can't even admit
not
it
getting
yourself,
tattooed, but having the
how do you expect
tattoos,
to ever be happy?
playing
Time's
Hearthstone
running out.
with my friends,
Just be honest with yourself. Better late than never.
puddle
I suppose.
prancing with Foosley when we play Hearthstone. Those are things that make me happy.
I don't have access to your microphone, so I can't know for sure, but I hope you said it. I'm hardly expecting you to shout it.
Hold on. Okay.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're in the heavy introspective stuff now.
Okay.
How are you feeling? How are your loved ones doing? One of the most common things people say on their deathbed is they wish they'd had more contact with their family and friends.
True.
Let's take a break from the questions for a minute and think about someone you haven't seen in a while and how you can contact them. Really think. Who would you like to say hi to? How easy is it?
Pretty easy.
Please contact these people if you can. I'm sure you can.
Well, probably shouldn't do it on stream because I might dox them, but...
Don't leave it too late. We don't have that long left here. When we finish, message them.
Deal. I can do that. Oh, continue play.
Write down their name somewhere so you don't forget to say hello. It may mean more than you know. Really important stuff.
People reunited, happy times, people cooked, pills taken, missing backbones, people killed. I've killed 601,000 people today.
An idle brain is the devil's workshop.
Oh.
Okay, enough of this. The come down is looming. Let's just pause one last time and think existentially for a minute.
Okay.
I can't quite gauge what you're thinking. Are you not disliking this? The thing you're doing right now? Yes? No. Why? If so, make sure you let others know. It doesn't not count.
Wait. Are you not disliking this?
Please, I beg you, don't refund me. Wait, are you enjoying this?
Yes. I am not disliking
All
it.
of this was for
Yes.
you. I hope you appreciate the last bit at least. Thank you. It's nice that you're supporting such experimental stuff. I appreciate you.
Independent developers supported one. We did it.
Never test the depth of water with both feet. The buzz is starting to wear off. I think we're still hallucinating, though. You wake up in an unknown location. You see in a bed across the room a world-famous violinist. They look pretty rough.
Okay.
The violinist has a fatal illness, and last night their circulatory system was plugged into yours. If they're unplugged from you now, they will die. But if you stay, in 9 months they will have recovered and can safely be separated. Do you leave now?
No. I mean, if this is like, if
Hopefully they
I
don't take
stay,
your kidneys too.
if this is like, I can like save their life by staying there for 9 months.
9 months
I would do it.
just lying there, missing life while they feed off you? Hardly seems fair.
No, I would do that. I just stream while lying there.
Depriving you of yours. Very odd to consider such an experiment as that one. Hopefully the rest won't be as meta.
Okay, I feel like most people are normal there. After COVID, 9 months seems like a breeze. True.
Silence is half consent.
Silence is half
With all
consent.
that cleared up, you go home. That's right, you own a house. If you can even call it a house. Too small for my liking. Tiny, in fact.
Yo, why are you judging, man? I like my
Trolley
smalls.
State, it turns out you've rented your tiny home to another person. Your contract states that you can evict them now, never to see them again. Otherwise, you're stuck with them for the foreseeable future as an equal tenant. Do you let them stay?
I would ask them to
Are you that
leave.
scared of what they think of you?
No, like realistically, I'd ask them to leave. I would be like, hey, listen, I was fucking cooked. The contract
I
can still
assume
kick
the
you out. I
homeless
try to be like,
shelter
I
is
try and
full
like
of
give them a
this
good
out.
chance to leave, you know, but I'd ask them to leave. Yeah, it would also depend on my monetary situation. Like a lot of stuff it would depend on.
I feel like your subconscious is trying to make some clumsy comparison here. I'm sure it has merit, but maybe read up on it a bit more before you start preaching to me.
People Made Homeless 1, love it.
Give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
Okay.
Oh, there now seems to be a tiny child trapped in your tiny house.
I have a
They
child?
are rapid. Oh, okay. You find yourself trapped in the tiny house with a rapidly growing child, already up against the wall. In a few minutes, you will suffocate. The child won't. If nothing is done to stop them from growing, they'll simply walk out free.
Hey, we're pro-choice.
Removing the child would
Pro-choice, guys. I don't want to die.
respect the right to life. The baby's, not your own.
I'll respect my right to life. And respect my bodily autonomy. We're not going the Republican route here.
Your Your life is being threatened, and the child is the one who threatens it. You own the house. It is offensive deducing that the mother... I mean, you. It is offensive deducing that you can do nothing. If you're going to die,
Missed
you should
opportunities.
probably do something.
82% of people would kill the baby. That's crazy.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Kind of true.
The hallucinations are strong in this one. Suppose people seeds drift about in the air like pollen, and if you open your windows, one may drift in and take root in your carpets or upholstery. Sci-fi!
Oh, this is like an immigration
you fix
question.
up your windows with mesh screens, the very best, to stop any people seeds from getting in. As can happen on a very rare occasion, one of the screens is defective and a seed drifts in and takes root. Should you have the choice to remove the people seed? This sounds like an abortion question. I don't like politics in my hallucinations.
Or here's the thing. It's
You're right. It's not a choice. It's a human being.
Is it abortion or is it immigration? I mean, a counterpoint is what? Couldn't I just say that's immigration?
It does sound a bit inconvenient having a person growing out of your upholstery. If you want them, have them. If not, that's your choice.
Yeah, but like you could frame that in being about immigration as well.
Every man is the architect of his destiny.
Every man is the architect of his destiny. Okay, okay.
There is a box in front of you. Inside it is your future.
Okay.
Ultimately, no answer here is wrong. It's just a choice on how you want to live your life. Do you go on an unknown journey or take control of your destiny and choose your own outcome, whatever that may be?
Take control. I believe that for
Good for you.
most of
Take
life,
control.
I have autonomy over my decisions and what I choose to do in life. No ship
But
of
do
Theseus
you
questions
ever
yet.
actually take control? Or just always answer A or B?
Beelzebub is online.
You stand tall, knowing that you will thrive in the unknown before looking at what lies ahead. Cowards die many times before their deaths.
True.
In front of you stands everyone you've done wrong by. In front of you stands every decision you didn't want to make, but still made. Or did you? Everyone, including the dead, moved towards you slowly. Every decision you've made up to this point is staring back at you. Do you run? Or stand firm and confront your past?
Like literally or figuratively?
Is avoiding your issues this much not tiring?
I mean, metaphorically, I would confront my past. I have no shame in the decisions I made. I made the decisions I made, and I stand by them, chat. Everyone I killed. Oh, Beelzebub wants to be friends.
The dead present a railway track to you. Before you know it, they have gone.
They give me a railway. Oh, is it the final trolley?
All good things come to an end. You stand alone. Next to you is a railway track. A trolley is barreling down it in your direction. There's no lever in sight. You notice the entire world sits next to you on the track. The trolley will surely hit it, killing everyone and everything. You hear a whisper. Sacrifice yourself to me, or I will take everything. What do you do?
I have way too many people that I love and care
bow
about.
to a god I can't look in the face.
I would. What good is living
Who
on
even
if
is
the world
this?
isn't there?
How do you know they aren't lying?
I accept this.
Everything goes dark.
Wow. 33% of the world's like, fuck that. I don't like that.
From the Pit Magistrates Court. Tell 616. Subject, Justice. Your sins can no longer be ignored. Beelzebub summons you for crimes against humanity. The sentence will stand with no prospect of future contest or appeal. It is your decisions, and solely yours, that has brought this court together. And so, you must face your crimes and despicable acts alone. Accordingly, you shall not be allocated a defense, nor will one be required. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
I will stand by my
Your
decisions.
eyes feel heavy. The room around you is imbued with a sense of archaic evil. Overcome by the smell of sulfur. What?
What?
You're swiftly escorted into a courtroom where you're put on trial. You have killed many people and a dog, among other crimes. How do you plead?
How do I plead, chat?
Really? Trying to justify your actions? If you didn't make those decisions, then who did?
Not guilty.
The jury finds the defendant guilty on 3 counts. 1. Murder. 2. Animal cruelty. You should have saved the dog. 3.
I stand on
attempting free
business.
will. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. You're at the base of a bridge. You have no idea how you got here. A person stands before you, atop the overpass, there next to a lever. A voice whispers to you, "We know what's best. Remove that choice. Afterwards you can jump off a bridge with us." There is a runaway trolley travelling below you. You're part of the collective now. You can't let that person's free will get in the way of progress. Eliminate them. You probably should do it. Fit in with the group. #friends, #love, #instagood. We're finally going to find out the answer to the age-old question. If
I can't
your friends
leave.
Jump off a bridge, would you?
I can't. It's the illusion of choice.
Do you honestly want to kill people? Or are you just copying others? Would you rather be a leader or a follower?
Developers note this is a heavy-handed metaphor for the pressures of society. Do not kill each other or jump off bridges. Thank you, developers.
Kill your masters. This is it. The last question before we wrap up. By far the most important one.
Okay.
Do you feel society pressures you to do things you don't want to, constantly forcing you to chase some distant concept of happiness?
Yes. Damn, dude, we finally finished Trolley Problem. That was fucking good. What's the reference, Artificial Amateur? That was great. That was awesome. I need more games like this, chat. More like decision-making games where we can like discuss them as chat. I actually really enjoyed that. No, artificial amateur. Tell me the reference. All right, people killed 601,000. Children killed 3. Murdered 6. Jobs lost 85 million. Planes crashed 1. Awful ideas 2. People in prison 2. Attempts to buy love 1. People saved 5. Happy times 1. People reunited 1. Altruistic suicides 1. Independent developers sorted 1. And dead dog 1. All right. That was Trolley Problem. I low-key love that game. That was like really good.